Portland has 3 timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to Shaq.
What's up, good people? Jay Sutton here, Give and Go TV. I just want to do a quick review on the Kobe Bryant and Shaq interview. I thought it was a good interview. Nothing too surprising. I wasn't expecting them to reveal any intricate details that we didn't already know. I figured them to brush everything on the rug and act like they never had a problem. They didn't really do that. I think they pretty much were truthful in it, because at this point, I don't think they had too much to gain, except for maybe a little image reblemishing, which I think that's what they did for Kobe Bryant. I think that it helped his image more than Shaq, because at the time when they were having their feud, I think that Kobe took the worst of the grunt from the people. I think that Kobe, his image took the biggest impact from their little beef. But I really think they were truthful. And I'm a guy, really, I don't believe too much in anything that people say in interviews or anything, because I think they're trying to portray an image and uphold an image or whatever. Or either if it's negative, then I think they're trying to get publicity. That's just how I feel. But I truly think in this interview that they were truthful. I think it was no more than a work beef. Sorry. We've all had people that we've worked with that we could not stand, but you go outside of work and drink a few beers with them or play basketball or do whatever, and it's cool. They're two different people. And I think that's the kind of relationship that Shaq and Kobe had. I think that Kobe was... I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. I love Kobe Bryant, but I don't think... He's one of those players that you admire from afar. I think you admire his work ethic and his intensity and his approach to the game from afar. But having to be in that foxhole with him, he's not going to let you... He's going to bring out the best in you. And he's bringing the best of himself each and every time out on the court. So any bit of lax around him is just not going to fly. And I don't think most people would enjoy working with the Kobe Bryant. I think Shaq, his approach to the game was different. On the court, I think Shaq was an animal and he was just as serious as Kobe or anyone else. But off the court, Kobe he took it to another level. And I think Kobe felt that some of Shaq's off the court stuff trickled over to on the court, and his approach trickled to over on the court, because I feel like Kobe felt like he could have been in better shape. Even though they didn't really talk about this in the interview, but I think it's pretty obvious. Shaq definitely could have been in better shape. He could have worked on his free throws more. And I think that Kobe he didn't take too kind of that. And I think any person would get tired of someone riding you all the time. And I think that was Shaq's approach. And I just think that they had a work relationship that wasn't the best, but they still got the job done. And like I was referring to earlier, I'm pretty sure that you've worked with people. I know I've worked with people, probably even people on the Give and Go crew. Don't tell them I said that. They're going to watch it. But anyway, that at work, you can't really, you don't always see eye to eye, but you still get the job done. And that's what Shaq and Kobe did. They didn't always see eye to eye, but they still won 3 championships, 3 out of 4 championships, and went 15-1 in the 2001 season, in the 2001 playoff season. Sorry, only losing 1 game to Philadelphia in the finals. So, I mean, if anybody thinks about Kobe and Shaq and what they done, you always hear people say, and I do this when I think about them, what they could have done, and that shows just how great they were, because I think we all agree that they underachieved, and they still won 3 out of 4 championships. So had they stayed together, had they put their pride aside, they could have been the best duo ever, the best team ever. You never know what could have happened. But they didn't, so woulda, coulda, shoulda, if it was the fifth. We all know how that goes. But I just think that, like I said, Kobe, his approach to the game is different. And I think that this this interview solidifies Kobe's personality, because you hear it over and over again. He's the hardest working in the league. He's intense, and he's an animal. He's an alpha male. His approach to the game is like no other. And Shaq even agreed to it in this interview, and they talked about times where they were about to come to blows, come to a fist fight, and Kobe didn't back down at all. He just wasn't scared. That's his approach to life. I don't think it's just to game. I think his approach to life is he's going to give it everything he has, and if he loses, so be it. He'll lose knowing that he gave everything he had. But 9 times out of 10, he puts in so much work and practice and pays attention to detail that he's going to win. And you got to respect that, and you got to love it. And I just think that most of us can appreciate that from afar. And when you're around someone like that and you don't have that same mentality, which most of us don't, you're not gonna want to be around it every day. And I think that's the position that Shaq was in. And also, it's really not gonna help when you're both superstars and one feels like it's his team, and he's like, calm down, man. This is my team. So I just think that's what that was. But like I said, they still did very well, and I'm a huge fan. Love them both. Wish they could have stayed together. Obviously, they didn't. But yeah. But just hit me up. Tell me what you think. Do you think that it was one of those staged interviews? They basically talked about everything that they were going to say beforehand, that they brushed everything on the rug. Do you think it was truthful? Do you think they're really friends? Yeah. Like I said, I work with people. And there's another thing, too. Throughout the years, you've seen that Shaq has said great things about Kobe, and Kobe has said great things about Shaq. I think what happens is, because I've worked with people before, and you can put this in a work format, and you put this in a sports format. I worked with people before that I could not stand, and they made me not want to come to work. And now, even now to this day, but those people, when you look back at it and you go on and you move on with life and you move on to another job, you think back about it and you're like, they weren't really that bad. And you start to appreciate how they helped you and how they helped you grow, and their approach and how good they actually were. Sometimes you got to see that from afar. The same thing with sports. I play with players. I'm like, man, this cat, oh my God, I don't want to play with this dude, blah, blah, blah. And then you go on, you play with other cats, and you start thinking like, maybe he wasn't that bad. And I think that's what happened with Kobe and Shaq. As they grew apart and played with different players, and they looked back on their time together, they saw what they had. Obviously too late, but I think they realized what they had, and they have a huge amount of respect for each other now. And I think that Shaq has to respect Kobe. Like, he realized that he's an animal. And Shaq, after playing with the big men that he played with after Shaq, he realized that Shaq was an animal. So they have nothing but the most respect for each other. I don't think that's fake. I don't think they're just being PR friendly or whatever. Do I think that they're going to be having freaking picnics together and anything like that? No, but I just don't think it was any hatred or any way that the media played it to be. And I don't think they helped by saying little comments in the media or whatever. They didn't, put the flame down any. But yeah, that's my opinion on that though. I don't think it was fake. But tell me what you think. Hit me up, comment, subscribe, let me know. Give and Go TV. Thanks.